allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. All right, I've never been told to talk louder because it's usually pretty good, but hopefully this is working. Okay, good. All right, Meredith and Sandy, do you want to come up and introduce our guests?
Good morning. First guest is John, and if I don't get this pronounced right, I apologize, but Leviton. And then Laviton, sorry. I'll get it right next time. And then Teddy Fisher, who is our guest speaker from the York County Parks Department.
Please welcome our guests. Lou, we're gonna have to just vote you in so that you don't have to get. Sure. All right, 50-50. Congratulations. All right, how about happy dollars? Elizabeth.
Good morning, York East. I have a happy dollar for my husband. We were donating blood on Friday morning, and he was chatting with his lobotomist. And she must have said, "Do you have plans for the weekend?" And he said, "Well, we're having a Rotary picnic at my house." Do you know what Rotary is? And this young woman knew nothing about Rotary, and Steve gave the most wonderful elevator speech that I have ever heard. It was a long elevator ride, but he said, told this young woman, it's been around for over 100 years. It's the biggest charitable organization. Their main goal is to eradicate polio, but do other stuff and potable water and da, 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 da. So I'm like, wow, okay. So happy dollar for him.
That was good. Any other happy dollars? Karen. Oh, wow. How'd that grandson get so old? Yeah, we don't go there. Anybody else? All right, I also have happy dollars. One happy dollar is for Steve and Elizabeth. It was a lovely time. I got to get to know Meredith Schreckler and Crystal Perry a little bit better. So as a new member, it's a great opportunity to get to know some of the seasoned members. So, and I can tell you that at Steve and Elizabeth, I did confirm that the Kings, Dawn and Todd King, will again host our holiday party sometime in December. So thank you very much. The second happy dollar is that I found my dog. So I have two dogs. One is 17. She was a rescue, and she has she's my Velcro dog. Never worry about her. The other one, I constantly watch. This one, we let her out, and she decided to take a walk on the wild side. So my neighbor happened to see her walking down the street towards Queen Street. So I go take off, my husband goes takes off. I was in the middle of searching a cornfield for her when I got a call from a lady half a mile away that she had my dog. She had caught her. Now, this is a dog that I can't take on a walk anymore because after about an eighth of a mile, she's tired and I have to pick her up. So no more of that. All right, today is history trivia. Yesterday was Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield Comics. It was his 80th birthday. Originally published as John in 1976, Garfield was later changed to its current name in 1977 and went nationwide in syndication in 1978. It chronicles the life of Garfield the cat, Odie the dog, and their owner, John Arbuckle. As of 2013, it was syndicated in roughly 2,580 newspapers and journals. This comic held the Guinness World Record for being the world's most widely syndicated comic strip. Garfield was based on the cats that Davis grew up around. He took his name and personality from Davis's grandfather, James A. Garfield Davis, who he described as a large, cantankerous man. Though rarely mentioned, the setting takes place in Davis's hometown of Muncie, Indiana. Happy birthday to him. Announcements, tomorrow or this afternoon is our Daily Bread service. And from what I understand from Jim, he has enough of volunteers for that. So thank you all. And tomorrow night, we will be helping out at Catholic Harvest Food Pantry. So again, thank you very much for those signing up. I do want to check if anybody here, if you're getting emails from Rotary on a regular basis from Wendy, you should be getting at least one email a week announcing who the speaker is and where we're going to be located at. So if you are getting emails, can you raise your hand? Okay, so I'm looking pretty good there. Okay. All right, if you're not getting emails, please see me or Wendy because we'll figure something out. There's a little bit of a glitch in the system. Safety Town, what we put on every year, I'm happy to say that she is scheduled to do a presentation on Safety Town for the first Tuesday in August. That'll be next Tuesday. So I was able to go to graduation and it was adorable. We're also planning an off-site meeting at Burns Health Education Center the end of September. They want to thank us and present a plaque for the $2,700 that we gave to them out of last year's golf, out of the 2024 proceeds from the golf tournament. And that was to purchase a new fan in their great room. So, and also on the upcoming, we are going to have a tree planting in the York area. It's being set up with the York Club, and more information will come on that. That's going to be the third Saturday in October, October 18th. So, and that's the end of my announcements. Scott, let me call you up and introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, York East. It's great to be with you this morning. This wraps up my 5-week tour of duty. And Lou, please be warned, this is how York East treats their new members. In all seriousness though, over the past 4 weeks, we have heard a variety of approaches to economic development. For those who've attended, you've heard about data collection and how we use that throughout the county to drive development. We also have heard about public-private partnerships and some of the open space developments that have occurred here in our county. And also you've heard about the Economic Development Action Plan. Well, this morning we're going to lighten the mood a little and talk about the quality of life that the York County Parks and Recreation Department brings to each of us, making it available to everybody throughout the county. And we have quite a gem here in York County. When you look regional and you look statewide, we have a lot to offer and these are parks that we should be extremely proud of. And this morning, it's my pleasure to introduce the acting director of our Parks and Recreation Department. He is no stranger to this club, I understand. He may have been here in years past. He is a local guy from Red Lion area, graduated from Red Lion area high school, graduated from Penn State with a wildlife science bachelor's degree. Went on to work in Montgomery County, Maryland for about 4 years before he went to pursue his master's degree at Clemson University. So we are extremely happy to have him back in York County so that we do not have the so-called brain drain that you hear about from time to time, where we lose our talent to other areas. We are so happy to have him back, and it's my pleasure to introduce Teddy Fisher to give us an overview of the park system and the impact that it has on economic development. Teddy?
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome and obviously the hospitality here this morning. Greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about kind of the roles of parks and recreation in our community here in York County, as well as just an overview of our York County park system. Sorry. Oh, yeah. There we go. So just to kind of start out, to set this up, I always try to start these talks by kind of talking about, I am no doctor by any means, but, there's a variety of different things as far as wellness and our well-being and things that affect them. So, it's widely kind of documented that there's basically 8 pillars of wellness. So, you can kind of see up there, there's the physical aspects, whether it's exercise, diet, sleep, the mental aspects, our occupations, our jobs are obviously an important part of our well-being and wellness. There's also environmental aspects, so being in the outdoors, enjoying nature. There's the emotional side of things, spiritual, financial, and social. So all of those things kind of come together and really have an effect on our wellness and our well-being. And so when we look at parks and recreation, there's a variety of different documented health benefits that come from having access to various parks and recreation facilities. It's often, having access to these places, there's an opportunity to be able to get outside and be able to exercise, enjoy time in nature. It provides recreational activities like passive ones, such as biking, hiking, kayaking. So all of that is a physical activity that is, exercise. Even though you're out just having fun, there's exercise involved with that. And then there's also the active side of it. So your basketball courts, your soccer fields, cross-country courses, there's a number of different sports leagues that for kids getting involved in sports in the outdoors. So, that's an important part as well. There's also a lot of research on the effect of parks and green spaces, just on our mental health and mental well-being. It's also a great place to gather with others, so it's that social aspect of wellness. There's an opportunity to picnic together, come together for family reunions, whatever it may be. It's also aesthetically pleasing. On the picture on the right there, that's a picture that I took out on Olympic National Park in Washington. Just being in a place like that, it's hard to, not enjoy yourself and not be just awed by the beauty of nature. So, and all of those things, they kind of come together and, there's opportunities to reduce your stress by spending time in the outdoors like that. And a lot of these facilities are really budget friendly. It's an opportunity, a service to the public, and often very free to go out and enjoy these facilities. So, then also with regards to, intellectual well-being, there's opportunities to learn in a lot of these park systems. So there's programs, there's educational events, different things like that you can get out and be able to learn as well. So this graphic here, it's really just kind of showing that it's not just me up here making all this stuff up. There's a lot of research. This is documented research over the years that, kind of is showing this from researchers in the field, looking at these various different things. And that's all kind of led to this Park RX movement, or Park Prescription movement. there are actually doctors out there that are writing prescriptions for people to spend time in parks and recreation to help with various different, ailments that, whether it's health, mental health, so stress, anxiety, depression, but also various different, other medical, issues as well, like fighting heart disease, obesity. So bringing in that exercise component as well. So, it's a really interesting movement. There's a video that I normally show from this, but just due to time constraints, I'm gonna hold off on that, but, it's worth kind of looking into and just checking it out. So I know, over the past few weeks, you've heard a lot about the economic development side of things. So, I just wanted to kind of touch on that as well. I'm not an economy expert by any means, but, there's no mistaking really the impact that parks and recreation can have on our economic development and our local economy, as well as nationally as well. So, when it comes to national numbers, this is from the National Recreation and Park Association's website. So they have some interesting research and studies that have documented some of these things. And when they look at local park and recreation agencies across the nation, it's about $201 billion of economic activity that was generated in 2021 when numbers were created. So, and local park and recreation agencies, that's, folks like us, it's the county level, local municipal park and recreation facilities as well. So, along with that, it supports about 1.1 million jobs. So, that's not just recreational professionals like myself, but that's also the contractors or playground companies, you name it, all the different avenues that are utilized within the park system, that's supporting jobs throughout the country as well, with a labor income of about $63 billion. And then the outdoor recreational economy, which includes parks and recreation, but also includes, excursions and things like a whitewater rafting trip, things like that. That altogether contributes to about $639 billion or 2.3% of the 2023 US GDP. So, there's a lot of economic impacts that the parks and recreation field has on the national economy. And then looking a little closer here at Pennsylvania alone, we have about 14,000 park and recreation employees across the state. The picture in the bottom right is from our first annual forum that we did last year at the county. So this is just a small fraction of, we had a great turnout there, but there were there's a lot more folks working just here in York County than what are represented there in that picture. But you can see, we had 25 different municipalities and representatives that showed up there. So there's a lot of folks in York County alone that are working in this field as well. So with that, that's $880 million in labor income in Pennsylvania, and about $1.3 billion in Pennsylvania's contributed to the GDP, and an overall economic impact of about $2.8 billion. So, just to look at some local examples, these are both parks within the York County Park System. So the York County Economic Alliance, they've done a lot of great research in looking into some of this using the Placer AI data, using cell phones and various different things. But they released a report recently on the Heritage Rail Trail, which is 27-mile trail that runs from the Maryland line up to John Ruby County Park. And in 2024, there was about 500,000 visits to that park and that trail. About 192,000 of those were unique visits. But what's really interesting is that trail, they're estimating that it generated about $41.2 million in economic impact here in York County. So, and they looked at that through a variety of different things, but, an important part of that is the tourism impact as well. So $12.3 million came from that. And that's from about 29,500 visitors that are coming to visit this park, so, this trail specifically from over 50 miles away. So that's what they consider a tourism or a tourist event. And so They are coming in and it's estimated that they've spent about $419 on an overnight expenditure coming to enjoy that trail. So, you know, it's just really interesting to be able to see, you know, kind of those numbers that, you know, it's not just the trail, but it's also an economic driver as well. And then they also did some research for us on Christmas Magic. For those of you that I'm sure many of you are very familiar with it, down at Rocky Ridge, we do a big light show every year. And in 2023, they looked at some data for us, and we had about 44,500 visitors that year from the data that they had, and about 8.3% of those visitors were tourist visits. So they came from 50 miles or further out. So a lot of folks are coming into the county to be able to kind of enjoy that light show, and then in turn, they're spending their hard-earned dollars as well on our local businesses and restaurants. And so there's a number of restaurants that they can actually see. They went directly to the restaurant and then to the show, or vice versa. And so the direct impact of the show, you know, bringing in about $2.2 million in estimated tourism spend. So just to kind of talk about our park system in general in York County. So this is just a broad overview. The map on the right kind of shows all of the different recreational locations that we have in York County. So there's a couple trails. The Mason-Dixon Trail runs along the Susquehanna and goes across the top of York County there. And then our Heritage Rail Trail runs from the Maryland line up through the center there as well. And then it just kind of maps out all the different public spaces that are available for recreation. And this is spread out, you know, it's 24,000 acres, but it's spread out across a number of different entities. So, you know, whether that's the Lancaster Conservancy and nature preserve that they have, the municipal local parkland, and then we're fortunate that we have four state parks here in York County. So there's about 5,600 acres of those here. Or I'm sorry, 5,600 acres of state game lands, and about 7,200 acres of state parkland. And then of course, where we're located, or where I work at, the county parkland, we have about 4,500 acres. So, and really there's something for everyone in these parks. We have, you know, all the different entities, especially the local municipal parks. They specialize more in active recreation. So your really good playgrounds, your basketball courts, tennis courts, you know, all of those good things. They really specialize in that. But there's also a lot of places that you can get out and mountain bike, or just spend time in nature and kind of get into a more secluded area as well. So there's really, you know, something for everyone here in Yorkville. So looking specifically at our department, the York County Parks Department. So we were founded in 1968 by the Board of Commissioners at that time. And the first park was Rocky Ridge County Park. And, you know, over time we have grown through various different avenues, whether it's land donations or purchases, but we have now grown to 11 county parks. And as I mentioned, we have about 4,500 acres of parkland across the county. So the graphic on the right there just kind of shows geographically where our parks are located. You know, we're spread out pretty well, especially on the lower 2/3 of the county, you know, to be spread out across the county. In 2024, we had about 1.5 million visitors that attended the park system. And they utilize, you know, a variety of different amenities that we have. So we specialize more in the passive recreation system, so providing trails and giving folks an opportunity to get out hiking, biking, hunting, fishing, and just spending time in the outdoors. So we do have a few sports fields and playgrounds located, especially up at John Rudy County Park. And we do have a number of different pavilions and things for people to come together and be able to recreate together as well. So, and then we have some historic museums and sites that I'll touch on here a little bit more. And then something that we're very excited about is we do have a 12th county park that we're currently working on that will be coming hopefully in the next couple of years here. So I'll touch on that towards the end here. So just to give an overview of our parks. So John Rudy is by far our most popular park, our most visited one. And it's also our most developed and most active recreation, park. So, there's a little bit of everything there, from the softball fields, soccer fields. We also have a number of different playgrounds as well as pavilions there available for rent. There's a BMX track that we lease out, so they handle that, but it's one of the best BMX tracks in the entire state. There's also the York County Astronomy Society is up there, so they have an observatory where you can come out and participate in public programs and be able to look through telescopes and bring kids out. So that's a great program that we lease that facility to them as well. As I mentioned, the pavilions, is pictured in the bottom right there. This is also where our big off-leash dog park is. So if you have dogs, it's I would say it's probably one of the biggest dog parks that I've ever seen. It's pretty big, but so it's a great spot to go. And if I'm having a bad day, that's where I go and go hang out with the dogs for a second. So, but the northern extension of the Heritage Rail Trail is also located up here, and then the Penn State Master Gardeners. They have a garden up there right outside of our office that we lease as well. So, and I believe they have an open house coming up in about 2 weeks. So, it's a pretty cool space to check out. Rocky Ridge County Park, as I mentioned, this was our first county park, and it's not nearly as developed as Rocky or John Rudy, but it's still one of our more developed parks that we have. There's about 12 miles of multi-use trails, and this is really known for mountain biking. So it's a mountain biking destination. If you go up there are folks from all over that come in to mountain bike on those trails. It's a very rocky terrain, as the name entails, but it's a challenging kind of area to really test your skills of the mountain bike. So. There's some beautiful views up there as well, so some observation decks, with some playgrounds. This is one of our parks that we allow hunting in, so we do allow that in the fall here. There's a nature fun area or fun zone that I believe it was one of the first in the state as well, but more of just a natural place for kids to go in and kind of play. And then, of course, Christmas Magic. So that we're going into our 42nd year of Christmas Magic, and I believe we get anywhere from 35 to 50,000 visitors up there in a given year, depending on the weather. So so it's a great place for that. William King County Park, so people more likely know it as Lake Redmond and Lake William. So those two lakes together make up that county park. And this is definitely one of our bigger water resources areas. So, there's boating opportunities here. There's a lot of fishing opportunities. So, but it's also a very popular mountain biking area, horseback riding area as well. So, there's a lot of multi-use trails there. We have some picnic pavilions there as well. And then it's also a great spot for bird viewing, given the lakes. There's a lot of migratory birds that come through. They just saw something the other week, I believe it was an ibis that, rarely comes through, and it was at the lake there. So there's some really cool opportunities there for bird watching. And then the really unique thing about this property, it's through a lease agreement with the York Water Company. So we have a 50-year lease with them, and they own, obviously, it's their water reservoirs for providing drinking water to the area, and then they lease the property to allow us to provide the recreational opportunities on the property. So. Richard Nixon County Park. So this is our education hub. So we have 4 naturalists that work out of this building. And it's really our park programming location. So there's a lot of different educational displays there, a lot of taxidermy. So it's like a natural history museum. So there's a lot of cool opportunities there, especially for kids and families to come out and enjoy. So there are some trails there as well, and it butts right up to William King County Park. So you can hop on a trail there and end up over in King by Lake William as well, if you choose to do so. And then we already kind of touched on this, but the York County Heritage Rail Trail. So it's a 27-mile trail, really popular for variety of different activities, but biking, horseback riding, being the main ones. There's also, we lease the railroad tracks to Northern Central Railway in New Freedom. So they provide different train excursions on that and bring folks up to a couple museums. So there's a museum at New Freedom train station where they start, and then there's one up at Hanover Junction as well that are open to the public on the weekends usually, and also for the trains. So there's a lot of really cool history, especially Civil War history, to kind of learn about from that. Then the historic Howard Tunnel as well. So that's obviously an important landmark as far as historical. I believe it's the oldest, longest, like continuously running railroad tunnel in the country. So it's a pretty cool spot. One more thing, just a note on the rail trail. So there's a lot of confusion regarding the Rail Trail Authority and York County Parks and the Heritage Rail Trail. So the Rail Trail Authority built the trail back in the early 90s into, eventually opened in 1999. So they did all the legwork of building the trail, acquiring the corridor and all of that. And then they transferred that property over to York County Parks and County of York. So there's a lot of confusion, folks go to them for permission versus us. And now with the Hanover Trolley Trail as well, that's currently their big project. So, they're doing a lot of work with the Hanover Trolley Trail now. But when it comes to the rail trail, that kind of falls under our jurisdiction now. So just to touch on some of our other parks, so these are less visited parks, I would say, but they're still, very special in their own rights, each one of them. So Apollo County Park is a rural park down in Grove, right along the river. It's really great for bird watching. We allow hunting at that location as well. It's very lightly visited, but the folks that do go down there love it because it's, you can get away from everyone, kind of be in a secluded area. So Spring Valley County Park is down near Winterstown. So this is a very popular horseback riding area. So that's what it's most known for. But again, another, really beautiful park that just doesn't have a lot of amenities. So, it's folks going out, it's kind of enjoying the trail for the day and coming back. So, Wallace Cross Mill Historic Site is in the top right corner there. So that's a historic, I believe it was 1826 is when that dates back to. And so it's a really cool old mill. They do open houses during the summer here. So there's opportunity to go down and check it out. But it's a very unique historic site. High Point Scenic Vista, that's over Wrightsville along the river. So that offers some beautiful views of the Columbia. I hit the button there. Basically the river, Columbia and Wrightsville area. So that's a beautiful spot as well. Native Lands County Park is located in the bottom right there, that picture. So that's a big wide open fielded area along the river as well. But there's some really unique historic history there as far as I believe it was one of the last Native American settlements along the river there in that area. So there's some cool history there. And then Robb County Park is out towards Jefferson, and that was the site of the old York Iron ore mine. So there's some old caves there that the public can't go into, but it provides great habitat for bats, and so it's just kind of a unique place as well. So just to touch on what we have coming up here, up in Fairview Township, we have an opportunity to create a 12th county park. This was presented to us. Lancaster Conservancy kind of started this work, and then they, due to some funding opportunities that came available for the county, we were able to actually go in and work on purchasing these properties through that grant funding, and we could match each of them against each other. So state funding and federal Highland funding. So we were able to match them together to really be able to purchase these properties without using any taxpayer dollars. So it's a really unique opportunity. It's the first of a county organization using that federal Highlands money to do this. So We're working on purchasing, it's 3 separate parcels, so they're kind of outlined there on the left. We already have purchased the Whittick property and then the 28-acre Ritchie property in the far north part there. So those are already owned by the county at this time. And then the 92-acre Ritchie property in red there in the center, we are probably going to close on by the end of next month. So that's nearing completion, and we'll have about 252 acres of land, all connected, and we'll be able to work on putting together, and we'll have to go through some master site planning and some development things as far as determining what we're going to do with that property exactly. But you know, it's a really exciting opportunity to get a property like that, especially right on the river. So this is you can see the turnpike running along the top there. So it's right where the turnpike goes across the river. If you look up to your right, it's going to be that area up there on the hillside. So beautiful views of the river, beautiful views of there's some pictures. So beautiful views of the river. It's a very old growth, not old growth, but a mature forest. So and there are a few fielded areas on it as well. But you know, it's just a really cool property to be able to get, especially yeah, right now and in that area. So Fairview Township has obviously we do not have any county parks up that way, and you know, it's kind of limited on big park systems like that, or big passive recreation park system up there. The township does a lot of great work with active recreation, so they have a lot of that. But this will provide some biking, hiking, you know, potential hunting opportunities there. Then I just wanted to touch briefly on some of our upcoming events. So these are things that have been ongoing all summer here. So the train stations, as I mentioned, they are open on the weekends. So there's some opportunities through October to stop by and visit the train stations. If you're interested in trains and civil war history, we are always looking for volunteers as well. So we have a number of docents that staff those museums for us. So if anyone's interested in that, you know, be happy to talk with you about those opportunities. We have a group that does a lot of biking trips. It's kind of a low-key, relaxed biking excursions that they do. So they're called the Sunset Scramblers, and then they also are the Moonlight Bike Riders. So they do, you know, towards the evening, they go out on the rail trail and ride together as a group. So there's some different dates there. And they also do occasionally some select nights of nighttime rides as well on the trail. Wallace Crossville, the open houses are going on there as well. So there's a complete listing of the events that they have going on our website. But through October 12th, there's opportunities to go down there if you're interested. And then through Labor Day, we have the Lake Redmond boat rental. So that's going on over at Lake Redmond. There's opportunities to rent kayaks, canoes, pedal boats, various different things. If you want to get out on the water as a family, or just looking for some time out on the water, that's a great opportunity as well. And then I also just wanted to put in, this is an event coming up in September. So they, I believe this is the 3rd or 4th year that they've been doing this. They do a native plant sale up at John Ruby. So if you're looking for plants for your flower beds or at your home, it's a great opportunity to get support some local vendors, and then also get some plants that are good for the environment. With that, I'm happy to take any questions if anyone has any. And thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. Yep, in the back. Okay, yep. So not that I'm aware of. So we townships and municipalities, boroughs, local municipalities tend to do more of those type of things. I don't know the status of that with Redline, if they're, what all they're looking to do with that, but, yeah, that it historically hasn't necessarily fit within our county park system. So, I'm not aware of any other, like, initiatives to kind of do that, but I know that's been a popular thing here. Yeah. So that's Spring and Spray Township, so, yeah. Yeah. So not that I'm aware of, but, so our lease, for that, I believe only goes up to Pearl Harbor Station, that's all the further it goes. We actually don't own the line, above, it's called High, so it's just north of Pearl Harbor Station. So I believe it's North Rail owns the line from there up to the city, so, it would be, you know, a whole, yeah, probably years and years away if that would ever happen, but I don't foresee it as of now, so, yep. Yep, and that. Sure, yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, I believe it's around 3 million or so is our total budget, give or take. And that includes everything. So that's salaries, that's, various upkeep, capital improvements, you know, the whole 9 yards. So, and then we have 29 full-time employees, and then we have a number of different seasonal employees that, you know, the boat rental, I have, some high school kids and college kids that are working there. And we bring in some extra help for Christmas magic and working in the maintenance in the summertime here with mowing and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, we have a great group of people, so it's yeah. Good. So we allow hunting in 5 of the county parks. So, Rocky Ridge, Spring Valley, Robb, Apollo, and, King are the 5 that we allow hunting. So, and it's mostly archery only. We do have some special exemptions for that, but, we do start giving out permits on Friday. So there's a special permit that's needed for hunting in the parks. So it's free of charge. You just have to come up, sign a waiver, get your permit stamped. And so, it has all the info. And I believe I have some on the front, so I could, if you're interested, I could give you one. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Which part of Rocky Ridge are you bordering? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we allow archery in that section, we don't on the other side, so, on the street, so, but, yeah. So, the Heritage Rail Trail, or, yeah, excuse me, the Rail Trail Authority, I'm getting myself even confused, but, the Rail Trail Authority, they handle all of that, and, I am on that authority actually currently, but, it's really difficult to say, you know, truly how far out that is. I know they're working on a number of different things and working on development. There's some different things to work through with that, so, you know, it's really hard to put a number on it, but, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a great question. So I actually just had a conversation with the Fish and Boat Commission, last week, and, they did a survey last fall, I believe, after it was refilled. They found that there was enough holdovers in there and enough, fish coming down from Lake Redmond into the lake, that they actually decided that it wasn't necessary to restock. So, I believe they said that it would almost be detrimental to add more fish in, because they were kind of at the stage that they were, kind of reproducing and taking care of themselves. So, but yeah, that's a great question. We get that one a lot, so. Yep, thank you. Well, thank you all. Greatly appreciate it.
So thank you very much. I have been to many of those parks, including Apollo, and yes, it is one of my favorite. If you go to the very small parking lot, it's like a billy goat trying to get up to the trail, but it's definitely the start of a good workout. And I'll also put in a plug for for the Master Gardener Open House. I've been to that also, and that's a really nice event too. So I would encourage you to check it out. So, to thank you for your speech, presentation. We'd like you to choose a book that will be donated to either the Children's Library at the YWCA or the Children's Aid Society. And there's a couple in there that have an outdoor theater, so.
Thank you.
All right.
And I forgot to mention, I do have some pamphlets, our program guide and Fox Track, so if anyone's interested, I have that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. If there's nothing else for the good of the cause, we are adjourned. See you next week.